Hey, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, man, it does not work without you guys. So let's get open for business here and let's wake up the football gods. You know, some days things just don't work out the way you want them to. And today was one of those days. I did my morning video, had my coffee. I don't have it back down here anymore. I was actually up working in the workshop. And when I do these, I kind of like do them and I send them up. I've been making some changes here on the studio. And as I have, you know, some of the settings get changed and I lose it and so forth. So I'm trying to do better. And one of the things that we're actually doing our videos now using a beta testing app for my Mevo cameras where we're actually using multiple cameras. And the thing I've learned is if you're not on the 5G, it's a problem because it doesn't get a great signal. So my original video that I did was jacked up. And so I'm trying to redo it. So we've hired Dan Quinn. We have some Cowboy fans that are really upset and say that, you know, they rushed the process. You know, this guy didn't do great in Atlanta and so on and so forth. I'm the guy who tries to at least put the information out there, let you make your own decision. I'm going to say at least give the guy the benefit of the doubt because you don't do something great and then just forget how to succeed. There are some guys that are better coordinators than they are head coach because it's a different set of skills. Being a head coach is more like being a CEO as opposed to being the guy making sausage. Now, I wanted to show this video on my video last night. For whatever reason, the sound didn't go through. And this morning, the original video was messed up. I don't know if it's the YouTube gods messing with me or what. But I'm going to try this again because when I look at our defense and some of the things that are terrible about our defense, a lot of it is desire, aggression, tackling, pursuit angles, lack of effort. When you hear a guy say, you know, nobody gives 100% on every play. You know, I might be on the backside of the play, so you know what? Well, I think differently on that. And the thing that I looked at with the Seattle defense, and I wish I could show highlights of it, but of course YouTube and the NFL will get you on that. But go back and look at some of the Legion of Boom. Look at how these guys are constantly in your face. And when I watched this interview, as I was setting up for my live stream last night, it was just like everything that I think about our defense and I've talked about are things that he is the polar opposite on with the Legion of Boom. Let's listen to this real quick.
We have real style about how we play. I thought that came out tonight.
Coach, game like this make defense again?
I certainly hope so. Couldn't be more proud to be part of that unit that plays, you know, with an aggressive style. We talked about out-hitting people in terms of how we want to affect the quarterback and even checking the ball down the way we want to tackle. We want to win with fundamentals, and you know, our guys work really hard in that fashion. It's something that our coaching staff and the players, you know, we talk tackling, we talk turnovers really every day that we practice, and you know, that's what came through tonight.
What do you do?
Well, we certainly have you know, so much respect for their offense the way it did. So I was not surprised that we played well. We've had terrific weeks of practice and preparation. So going into it, we were healthy and really felt like we were going to play fast and physical. We prepared for no huddle for 2 weeks. And if you give those group of guys 2 weeks to prepare, the coaches and those players, I think you're going to like the results.
What did you tell your players after the game, Coach?
Really just how proud I was to be part of the unit, and the thing that I was most impressed about is that we really played in the style and fashion that we're accustomed to. We're fast, we're physical, and we played this game on our terms, and that was one of the things we went into the game saying, and for us to go and play it in that way, you know, and have it come true in that way, it was awesome.
Where do the Seahawks rank the all-time greatest defenses?
I'll let you guys decide that. I couldn't be more fired up to be part of our unit and the attitude and the way that we play, so I'll leave that to you guys. Coach Carroll has been he's been huge for my career. I think that how to feature the players, and let's find what a player can do well, and let's accent that. And that'll be one of the many things we taught me.
What did that first front? Did you anticipate it would be that
I don't know about that, but I certainly know our guys know how to rush. And that was one of the things we knew when you face a quarterback like him, you better be able to affect him. We didn't talk about sacks or hits. We talked about can we get him off the spot. And we knew in certain coverages there was going to be times when he got the ball out and under 2.2, 2.3, which is hard for a rusher. We know sometimes it can be, if it's at 2.6 or 2.7, that's when you can get the hit. So we knew they'd have to deal with us, in terms of, I was fired up for Clem and what he was able to do, and Cliff and Michael have been doing that for a while. So it was just another example of how, we have a really deep front, and some games you have to play real hard ball. It's going to be a running team, and then there's games like tonight where it's going to be more featured pass rush.
What did that Peyton Manning several times audibled into a run, like Bobby Wagner was nodding. He came back and made a signal. Did you guys know any of the calls and the signals?
We did not. In fact, some of our calls, we just wanted to have some fun, and we made up some calls just so we'd be able to do some too.
Okay, so here's what I loved hearing from that interview is finding out what players do well and using that. Fast and physical. Talks about winning with fundamentals, tackling. We talk about tackling, takeaways, pursuit angles. They work on the stuff that you see. There's so many games that literally drove me crazy. I'm sitting here looking at Xavier Woods, who looks like he's lead blocking instead of keeping everything in front of you. I see so many times that guys are flat-footed waiting for the ball carrier to come to you as opposed to going and attacking them, letting them get ahead of steam and absorbing the blow. See, what you got to do is for every action, there's a reaction. When you deliver, you're pushing them backwards. How many times have we seen somebody get hit and continue to go forward because we're standing upright waiting for it? And these are things that, you don't quantify or you don't really see. But when you get a running back, as opposed to giving him 6 or 7 yards because he blew through you and carried you downfield, if he gets 1 or 2 yards because you hit and stopped his movement forward, it makes a big difference in a game. You add those little things up, and it really changes the dynamic. So the thing for the Cowboys is it's not going to matter what defensive coordinator you have if you don't have the right players for your system. And right now, when you look at our team, players that you figure are going to be coming back that have a contract, we actually have a lot of needs on this defense. If we start talking about defensive tackles, right now, the only 2 guys you look at and say that definitely are coming back are Tristan Hill and Neville Gallimore. 2 young guys. I'm happy about that. You might bring back Antoine Woods, but he's, a restricted free agent. Defensive ends. Right now, we've got DeMarcus Lawrence, Randy Gregory, and Dorrance Armstrong. I'm not sure Alden Smith is with being a 3-4 outside linebacker if he's going to fit the system. Linebackers. We got Jalen Smith, Van Der Esch, and Francis Bernard. Sean Lee, I hope they keep him and make him a coach. But you definitely have a need at linebacker. Cornerbacks, the only ones that we know that are under contract are Trayvon Diggs and Anthony Brown. Jordan Lewis, Awuzie, those guys, they're the end of their rookie contract. So you'll probably bring one of those guys back. I don't know which one, but, again, we're going to need help at cornerback. Safety-wise, Donovan Wilson is the only safety we have under contract. So, of course, we're going to need safety. So this is an opportunity for the Cowboys because they've already got a start on this. They can already figure out we're going to be a 4-3 defense. We need to get bigger cornerbacks that are more physical. We need linebackers that are going to be faster and more aggressive. Defensive line, if you think about Seattle's defense ended up with a deep defensive line they used in there. There weren't Khalil Macks per se, but you had your Mark Bennett's, you had your Cliff Avrils, you had good players that you could constantly rotate in. And the thing you're going to see with this defense more than what we saw before with Rod Marnelli. Rod Marnelli was great with the defensive line. He took guys that, were nobodies, and he made them competent players. What you're going to see with this defensive line is you're going to see them more aggressive. You're going to see the cornerbacks, instead of giving 8 and 10-yard cushions, they're going to be in guys' faces. They're going to be challenging from the snap of the ball, that 5-yard chuck. They're going to be trying to knock them off the block, and they will get physical. I'm excited about the possibilities, but we're going to have to get more players that fit the system. It doesn't matter who you bring in. With the defense as it's currently constructed, you're only going to be able to do so much. And I'm happy that at least we're not talking about we're a 4-3, 3-4 hybrid. Keep it simple, stupid. Keep it simple, and let's go out there and play. So we'll see in the going forward who's going to stay and who's going to go. But it may be, like I said, guys like Aldon Smith may not necessarily be the fit. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. All right, as always, I appreciate you guys, and hopefully I got it right this time.